on Facebook, Twitter, everyone who is listening in Zoom and on social media. Welcome to our Propy weekly webinar. Today topics is again an exciting and trending one. It is about Metaverse, virtual real estate, real properties as NFTs, crypto, and how it relates to real estate. And we have fantastic guests today. Grant and Caleb, could you please share a couple of words about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go first, Caleb. So I'm Grant Physicus. I'm from Northwest Arkansas. Work for Carlton Realty as a realtor and have been in it for just about 3 years now. And excited to see what the crypto and blockchain space looking to do. So for the real estate world. Fantastic.
Thank you for being here.
And I'm Caleb. I am a marketer. I was the owner of the first TikTok ad agency. And because of that, I found out about NFTs, and I've been deep into NFTs for the past year. So now I consult on NFT projects and marketing and what's happening in the NFT world and Metaverse world. And now I kind of report on that on my profile on TikTok.
Fantastic. So follow Caleb on TikTok. And do you share the content on Instagram too?
I do. Yeah, I put on Reels.
And Instagram. You can put this in the chat in Zoom, please. And my team, please copy the credentials of Grant and Caleb in Facebook and Telegram and Instagram. Awesome. And the way I know you guys is actually through the videos that became viral, right? Did you notice that it's becoming viral at all? Because I noticed it in a specific way, but I don't know if you were seeing that.
I mean, my video got 30,000 views on my profile, and then I think I made it like 2 months ago. And now all of these profiles on Instagram started to repost it, like these huge NFT profiles that I didn't even know were there. Were just like tagging me. And I was like, and then all the smaller ones started to repost it. And I was like, what is going on? And so, yeah, I didn't realize what was happening. Like initially it got great views, but it was like, it just spread like wildfire overnight. So it was crazy.
Every single day, there are huge NFTs communities are sharing those videos. There are 3 videos there. How real estate is being NFT'd for the first time ever. And that was the property that our company NFT'd a few months ago. But it's insane. And I'm not sure if you're seeing them all, because some of them are tagging you, some of them are tagging me. And I see every day those notifications, how many thousands of people liking them and sharing them further. So it seems like the community, the consumer is ready for that kind of a transaction. Grant, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I definitely think that they're ready for it. We've got a new age, the millennials, Gen Z, that like digital technology. So being able to do something electronically with an NFT is just going to make the real estate process and transactions much simpler.
Absolutely. And before we get to the NFT of real estate, how we did it, let's talk about why we think this notion of investing in real estate and investing in crypto could be probably the win-win situation for the new generation. Caleb, we briefly discussed that before we get into the live. Can you share your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think what people really are searching for when it comes to NFTs in general is utility. And we all know about the utility of buying land and investing in land or homes. Like that's just built into everything that we do. And now that they can see it in the digital world, and it makes sense because it's not just a picture, because everyone thinks like you can screenshot it, you can steal it if you take a picture of it, but you really can't do that whenever it's linked to a physical property and a digital property. Like we're creating new streams of investing income for people by now linking real world assets to digital assets. And we're creating whole economies overnight. And it's finally giving, millennials, their plight is we were born into this world with problems, but now we're literally creating worlds with solutions in the metaverse. And I think that's what the great thing about it all is.
Absolutely agree with you. How would you describe metaverse for the folks who are new to the space?
Yeah, I would say that a metaverse is a digital world in the most basic form. It's when we say universal, when we're talking about the universe, when I'm talking about the digital worlds and all the worlds that you can go to, I say metaversal, just to apply to all the digital worlds that are built on blockchain. Metaverse is usually built on blockchain. Doesn't have to be, but it's just a digital world that you can enter into. How it's run or the economies of it are all different because there's no like one metaverse. It's just a term for digital world, digital life.
Thank you. Grant, what's your view on metaverse and how it relates to the real estate industry?
I like the metaverse I haven't dove too much into it yet. I've explored the opportunity to buy land there. Obviously, some of the largest crypto transactions, NFT transactions have been in the metaverse most recently. So I think it's going to offer the younger generation a new way to, as Caleb was saying, buy property in the physical world as well as in the digital world and use that to monetize, through investments. I also think that institutional investors are going to become involved with tokenizing NFTs and other investments. So that would be honestly what I think the metaverse is going to turn into. It's going to allow.
I actually get this question from agents recently, more frequently, how realtors can get into commission into the metaverse where they could potentially serve their real estate clients and help them buy virtual land. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it is interesting. I
So,
feel like a crypto certified agent might help.
Exactly. Get the Propy crypto certified agent, and then for sure you'll be able to sell real estate in the real world and in the virtual world. Caleb, sorry, Caleb, I keep misspelling your name. How do you pronounce it?
Caleb.
Caleb.
It's okay. A lot of people do that actually, so it's no problem. Some of my friends call me Caleb just because it happens so much, so it's no problem.
Okay, thank you. So what's your view on that?
That's actually like a question I had because in NFTs in general, royalties are built into it as like the initial way of selling any NFT. So, I mean, I see a lot of options with real estate agents, either, I don't know, I guess being built into the smart contract forever of always getting the commission, or maybe a one time. Like, I don't even understand how. I don't have the certification. So those are questions.
No, you're not an agent, right? You're not a realtor.
I'm not a realtor. No, I'm a marketer at the core of it all. Yeah. Right. But my question would be it's not more so how you make money or if you can make money as a realtor in the metaverse, it's how much money can you make based off of the mechanics of selling NFTs as real estate, because it really is endless if you think about the mechanics of how NFTs work. And like Gary Vee made $50 million off of his first launch, and then he made $40 million in the next 3 months off of secondary sales of only getting 10%. So that's how much can you make selling the same property like in the metaverse? It's unlimited. It's insane.
Yeah, so actually I will get into the royalty fees shortly, how we understand it and how we build the royalty fees into our concept. But before getting there, I want also to expand the understanding of metaverse. Again, metaverses could be different. There are many metaverses. There is Decentraland where you can buy virtual land. There is Super World where you can buy virtual land and others. And these worlds are evolving. They're virtual. They have different rules. They're more like gaming platforms that are evolving into gaming platforms. But also for me, it's very close to what we're doing at Propy, the understanding that the metaverse is also the universe of rights, whether it's the right to a digital identity, whether it's a right to vote, right to home ownership, to a property. This is where internet is evolving to a new Web 3.0, where we will share not only information between each other, but also values and rights in Metaverse. And this is why we're discussing real estate and NFTs in both virtual and real world. So before we get again to those real estate NFTs and royalty fees, let's dive into Metaverse. What do you like the most in the notion of buying virtual real estate? There could be many metaverses. There are many platforms, where to invest, why to invest. The conversations about Metaverse now are happening every day. $1 million lot is being bought on this Metaverse. $2 million lot was acquired. Adidas got into Metaverse and bought something. Events are happening in Metaverses. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'll say just it's going to allow people to do things in the digital world that you couldn't physically do on a piece of land. So, for example, in the Metaverse, if I wanted to create a 10-story apartment complex or something like that, I may not be able to do that in a traditional single-family residential lot. So
how would you consume this creation, though? So, okay, you created 20 floor building with the pink colored walls. That maybe not get permitted in the real world. How would you consume your creation?
Well, so what do you mean by consume? I guess is
well, how do you monetize that?
Oh, how do you monetize it? Well, I guess in the Metaverse, they're offering, I guess it would be, you could potentially build it into a game. You could sell it as an NFT, right? So that other people can then copy that and put it into their parcel of land. And this is just based on my basic bare minimum understanding of the Metaverse at this time. But I think ultimately that would offer people, the ability to monetize it that way.
Yeah, when I first found out about real estate in the Metaverse, I went into crypto voxels and I was just like exploring what it was, like finding out how this all works. And I stumbled across someone who had an NFT storefront. And they were just selling all their wearables for crypto voxels. And then next door, someone was leasing out store spaces in crypto voxels. And I was like, this is insane. This is everything that's possible and more in the real world is absolutely even more possible in the Metaverse. That's how we really have to think of it. It used to be gaming platforms. Now it's real life. It's a second life in the digital world where you can actually have a full-time income and monetize in way more ways. There's some platforms where you just buy a piece of land. Like if we bought GTA 5 in the main New York City in there or Los Angeles in there before they ever launched their project, and now we own part of that game, we're investing into the mass adoption of that game. And now we own part of it. So it's kind of like investing it early in cryptocurrency, except you forever have a piece of that game. So the value goes up the more players that are using it. There's other mechanics where you can stake land, like you just get paid to hold it, not even to rent it out, because the more people that hold it, the higher the price goes up. So you can get paid just by owning land. We can't do that right now. We have to rent it out in the real world. But there's other mechanics that are more deep in how they run their tokenomics in the Metaverse and how you can make money. The possibilities are infinite when it comes to how you can make money in the Metaverse with real estate.
Incredible.
Oops. Thank you. I'd like to bring to the conversation my co-host, Adam. Adam, what do you think about this conversation? And do you have any questions to our guests?
Well, let me put you on the spot, Natalia. Where have you seen a correlation of the Metaverse and how it relates to traditional real estate and vice versa? I know you study this deeper than anyone. What have you seen that you think would be relevant to the audience?
I think what is relevant between the metaverse and the real world is the home ownership concept, because real estate now behaves as a digital asset. All the conveyance is digital. The home ownership record is digital. It's sitting in the databases. So it's the bricks and walls that is physical, but the home ownership is digital already. You either own an asset with the right to occupy, or you don't. So this is why I'm talking about metaverse as the universe of rights. And this is why the NFT concept is absolutely applicable. Right after the digital art to be NFT, the next perfect use case is real estate to be NFT, and that's why it was possible to accomplish. But at the same time, I'm getting more and more excited about the digital twins that are parallel to the current world, where we take the real addresses and the supplies, the homes that are existing in our world, because in many metaverses like Decentraland and Superworld, there are billions and billions of lots in a universe, but they're not correlated to the real world, and thus the supply is kind of unlimited. So I'm excited about that also, because all the virtual tours that buyers are doing during the pandemic, the virtual reality tours became very popular and adopted. And thus, if we build this parallel world where the marketplace will be able to help you to browse for a home, where you can get into the house, look through the home in a virtual world, and then make your decision faster based on previewing virtual world in the metaverse, and then go ahead, of course, to see the house, to fill it out, and then just get the ownership in your wallet. That's my answer, Adam.
I think it's good, and I think you have to realize there's a whole generation, that has done nothing but spend a lot of time in metaverses, whether they were anything from Fortnite universes to a little more mainstream. But there's a generation below us that have spent a lot of money on skins and ways to upgrade their houses in metaverse, that it's going to be very, very natural, as opposed to some people who might be a bit older who have spent less time in the video game or the metaverse to kind of wrap their mind around. It's going to, once it really gets going, I think it's going to be very, very quick adoption. So that's the part I would tell our most traditional realtors is there's a group of people that have already spent a lot of time in the metaverse and they're very fluent with it. And so it would make sense to wrap your mind around it. But Caleb, have you seen and have you done much? You've got such an interesting background with your TikTok ad agency and your time on social. Have you seen companies really utilize the metaverse in terms of monetizing well yet?
Yeah, I have. I see companies now building office spaces in the metaverse. So they have a physical office space, a digital office space that they're known for, and they built like the most recent one is a Minecraft type one. And what I see is the craziest thing is people are using metaverses to advertise the most. Like there was a famous project where a guy made a page. It was like 1 million pixel page, and he was selling the pixels on the page to companies as ad space. And he was just selling 1 pixel for $1. He was just trying to make millions of dollars off of it. And the web page was going to be there forever. And they were buying the first versions of digital real estate on that page. And that's the allure of, the metaverse is built on the blockchain. It's immutable, it's permanent, it's forever, it's only transferable if you choose to do that. So companies are now using their money to buy real estate early on in these metaverses and just start advertising in the meantime. They don't even really build something there. They sometimes just have big signs that say, we're going to come soon. We bought this as a promise that we're going to come into this. And they spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, or they've gained millions of dollars in equity because of spending hundreds of thousands of dollars early on. And they're usually the first ones invited to invest in those parcels of land in the digital world because they have the budgets for it. And that's what I see. And like I saw in Crypto Voxels also, or Decentraland, people are just buying sides of building. Or like if you buy a building, you can now design it to where you just have this little ad space on there. looking like Times Square. Like, you just advertise everywhere. And I think that's how, coming from a marketing standpoint, they say marketers destroy everything because they really make it mass adoption and they really dilute it down. And that's really how they're getting into it, is they're investing first into the advertising and then waiting for the mass adoption.
What are the top metaverses, in your opinion? Which ones do you like?
Well, Sandbox is the one that just launched. They have huge, like their token that runs their metaverse is really good. Decentraland, Sandbox, Somnium Space is another good one, and then Axie Infinity. Axie Infinity isn't really like a metaverse, but it's a play to earn platform that sold digital real estate. So now you own part of the successful gaming platform. But the real main three big ones are probably Somnium Space, Decentraland, and Sandbox. But Sandbox is like huge in how they didn't launch slowly over time. They like took several years to develop it, and it's in that Minecraft style that everyone's used to. So that's why I think everyone's really into it. And then they just made it a play to earn platform to where you can earn money in their token, which is sand. And several people made like $10,000 through an NFT sale. And the only people that got access to do that were NFT land owners. So they basically gave back their money to people who invested in them early by buying land in Sandbox.
And it took a long time for them to build.
Yeah.
Natalia, which metaverse which horse do you like in the race, Natalia?
Well, all those that Caleb mentioned, these are the most famous. I have not personally invested, but I've been following Decentraland and others from early days. Sandbox used to be quite a traditional one before they get into crypto. So that was interesting to observe how they pivoted in crypto. That was a very smart move. And they got money now from SoftBank and so on. Grant, how do you think agents should now react to all this metaverse evolvement?
Well, I think you need to start learning now. It goes back to the mass adoption. And as Adam said, it's going to be adopted quickly because the younger generations, I guess, i.e. my generation, we've been involved with it for the past 20 years. We grew up in this space and we're familiar with the gaming technology of buying skins and buying properties and, being able to do things in that digital space. So the sooner you can start to learn about blockchain and crypto and the metaverse and what is truly on the horizon, I think you're going to be a whole, step up ahead of every other agent across, the US.
And do you think this could evolve into agents to have and own this expertise on specific metaverses? Because right now there are 5 to 7 that are really leading the wave, but probably there will be 100 metaverses in the future. And investors would love to get involved, but they don't have enough expertise. Do you think there is a play, just like now agents' most valuable value and benefit is that they know the local neighborhoods? Do you think this could evolve into knowing metaverses and specific neighborhoods within metaverses?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's an interesting, perspective. I hadn't thought about pinpointing into certain metaverses and being able to, make that your target market, right? And you can become the most proficient agent in that metaverse. Who knows how many there's going to be in the future, but as you said, right now, it's probably good to at least get familiar with what's on the market currently. So.
Yeah, I think that's, I am a TikTok ad agency owner, and I can't tell you how many like weird looks I get just from saying that. They're like, TikTok, what? You really think that's not going to be banned? And, I had to specialize in a new type of social media that nobody knows about. And I think I've met people who specialize in tokenomics, the economics of built out tokens that companies have. Like, I didn't know there were specialists for that. So for right now, I definitely think that has to happen. Otherwise. So
you actually got into all the platforms to be banned, right? TikTok, crypto.
Yeah, right.
Anything else on your radar we need to watch out?
I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say anything else I'm getting into.
That's why he's always moving around. That's all.
Yeah, I'm on the run. Exactly.
No, crypto is too late to ban. TikTok, I think too, but crypto for sure because it's decentralized.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So let's get to the topic of real estate NFTs now. Caleb, how did you learn about our first NFT deal we did, and why did you decide to make a TikTok about that?
Well, I'm pretty sure that I found out about it on Clubhouse, and I think you were on Clubhouse talking about it, and I was in one of those rooms, and I wasn't
I did
making
only
content.
5 clubhouses probably in January or February, and then in the summer during the NFT. What a coincidence.
Yeah, I know. I know. It was. I remember listening, and you guys were talking about how it was possible, and I was like, this is just crazy. And that was me going through my research phase of NFTs, and I wasn't making any content. And then I remember I was like, I need to make a video, and I was like, wait, this thing happened months ago. I gotta like look into like what even happened. And then I like researched it and saw how the deal went down. And I was like, this happened months ago, but this is pretty important. So that's that. I just thought it was one of the main things that sold me on NFTs was the utility. And the fact that you guys built that utility out is the only reason I'm into NFTs. And I'm not really like an art collector. I'm very much into putting it into our daily lives and how we can use it, because the mass adoption aspect is why I believe in it. So that's why I loved it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much to start this viral movement, because in the end of the day, we believe that the real estate industry will adopt it as a standard. NFT home ownership actually allows us to detach from counties recording systems, and people will be able just to trade NFT real estate and the assets to live on blockchain forever, unless the owner decides to burn the NFT and to redo the paperwork, which we're happy to do. And then once a property is NFT'd and it lives on chain, it could be used as a collateral. I'm sure decentralized mortgage will evolve very soon, if not by our team, by other teams. And then it means that people that are self-employed entrepreneurs that have assets, they're not able to get mortgages right now easily. They will be able to get the mortgage based on their assets, digital assets, the NFT itself, the property itself. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I think I have seen people getting loans already on NFTs, not mortgages, but I already know that the system's there, and it's like evolving faster than I can keep up with. Like the amount of new things coming out daily, or the newest companies coming out with NFTs is really like super fast. And it only makes sense that companies like Propy would come in there and go, well, it makes sense that we just bring in real estate because everyone else is using it. So I think it only helps in every aspect that people are doing those things. Like I was telling you, I couldn't get a loan on a home. I tried like 5 different lenders, but it was too complicated, and it was too much back and forth. But if you think about,
just a second, you mentioned that in the beginning of the streaming, I think it was not live. So you tried to buy real estate for a couple of years, and you still didn't get neither condo or single family home, right?
No, I didn't. Exactly. Because I'm self-employed, and I had to they're like, well, we have to prove that you make a certain amount of money and down payment or a FHA loan. Like, I'm not the ideal guy to buy real estate when it comes to like finances, especially if I have like several companies. So, or I change locations and every few years, like it's completely not prime for any realtor to have either. And when it comes to blockchain, like they only look at the hard info that you have. They're just like, do you fit this criteria? You now get this property because you fit the criteria. And it's no longer a person that goes, yeah, but I like you more, so I'll try harder with you. You know, if we have mortgages on blockchain, it's just like a code, a piece of code that executes it based off of yeses and nos. And we're not going to have racism or any like favoritism when it comes to real estate too. And I think it really helps in that aspect also.
Absolutely, because it's, as you mentioned, it's just a protocol. So you have the collateral, and if you're not able to pay your payments, then the collateral will be available in the market, auction will happen, and then the protocol will give you the money back that are owed to you, and you know the rules. So would you actually apply for such a loan?
I would. Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's when I explain it to people, I think it's like the most, I tell them like we live on integrity as a promise in the real world, but integrity is enforced in the digital world or on blockchain. Like there's no emotions. Like you can go to the repo guy and go, please, it's the last thing I have, but like you don't get second chances. And I really like that. I think that's why a lot of shady things happen in the economy, is because people know people and they let things happen. And if you really truly understood the rules, then you would know everything going into it and all the risks that apply, and you wouldn't YOLO something, right? Like we don't want that to be like a blockchain thing. It should be something that you do based off of integrity and you know what you're getting into. So I like living that way. Like just by honesty and enforced honesty, I guess too. Like it's a mutual contract that we should both know about.
So
Enforced honesty, I love it. Adam?
So let me ask you a question, Grant. As we look at real smart contracts in traditional real estate moving forward, to which Caleb is talking about in terms of a true smart contract in real estate, how long will it take?
Just a second, Adam. For people who are not aware, smart contract is not a purchase agreement. Smart contract is just a code on the blockchain. Go ahead.
Exactly. But Grant, as we look at real smart contracts, and Natalia's point of, A, B, and C must be met for D, E, and F to happen, how do you think it'll impact real estate in the real world?
Well, it's gonna give, well, let me take a step back. It's gonna hold a lot of people accountable, right? For making sure that they get things done on time, making sure payments are processed on time, that things are not missed as far as details and accuracy on the title and in the deed, et cetera, because that can cause problems down the line. By implementing smart contracts, you're ultimately trying to mitigate that risk or eliminating that risk of any fraud or issues to arise in the future. So smart contracts is just an easy way to make sure everything is confirmed and accurate.
I agree.
It'll happen sooner rather than later. Definitely, as I'm sure all of us know.
To Caleb's point, there's no more YOLOing deals. You have to meet certain criteria. They have to be proven. Once they're executed, it goes from A to B in the way it should be.
Exactly.
Now, I want to mention royalty fees. I think it's a perfect time to mention the royalty fees because, again, they are done automatically via smart contracts. If you have created an NFT, real estate NFT, and then this NFT is being sold afterwards on the secondary market, then in your wallet, you will get automatically royalty fees. So whether you're a seller NFTing a home or an agent helping the seller to NFT a home, you can be eligible for NFT royalty fees. And why I think it's viable, this model is viable and honest to the participants, is because the heavy lifting for a sale of a home happens and should happen before the sale. So when we did this NFT sale in the summer, we made the title report first. We checked if the title is clean. We got all the inspection reports, appraisal, everything is done in advance. And when the auction is happening, all the participants, the bidders, they can have access to the documents in order to make the decision. They can go and see the property live before they participate in the auction. And when they participate in the auction, they know that the heavy lifting is done. Everything is clean. They can verify, look at the documents. And then in the auction, the winner becomes a homeowner right away with a couple of clicks. We still don't have the mortgage and loan processing, Caleb, for you. Other than that, would love you to be one of the first buyers of real estate NFTs. But that's our vision: how to make it easy, how to do all the heavy lifting in the beginning, and this is why sellers and agents deserve those royalty fees on top of their commission.
So Natalia, I have a question on that. When it comes to the royalty fees and when you sell a property over and over again, how do those royalty fees get transferred? If a different agent were to sell that same piece of land, do the royalty fees get split? Is it in addition to, or is that not really?
Yeah, that's a great question. For now, the way we do, agents just earn the normal commission price and they get it in their wallet as a commission. But royalty fees is something different, which is a very small fee, and it gets automatically to the wallet of the first agent and the first seller. So if there is a secondary sale and the seller decides to work with an agent, then it's up to them to negotiate the commission, and probably will be paid from the proceeds to the agent between the two parties, not via royalty fees and not via smart contracts just yet.
Interesting. Okay, gotcha.
Awesome. Any thoughts about how royalty fees should work and commission, how this could evolve in your mind? It's still so early that it's kind of in brainstorming stage.
Exactly. It's definitely question based. No, I don't. Caleb, you might have started saying something.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and it also incentivizes people to be the first to NFT their property, right? Like, like that helps, and that's. I think it's a bit weird translate because that's totally NFT culture, NFT art. That's how it should go. If we think about the Mona Lisa, right? Like whoever made the Mona Lisa should always get paid that way. In the ethics of galleries, like usually galleries take the commission, and then like however many owners it goes through, it never goes back originally to the first creator of it, which is really who we should be thanking in payments. So I like that you brought the culture of an NFT world mechanism that's like widely accepted into real estate, because the first person who did all the legwork for the NFT and bringing it into that world should really be paid, because they just made it easier for every other owner after that. And if they did the legwork, why not pay them that money? And that only you now go, well, I'll NFT all my properties now because I know I make residual income off of that. Like that's great. And that should only incentivize people to do it more so. So I like it.
Fantastic. And as you mentioned, the first ones definitely deserve all the benefits, because the movement is just starting, but without those first 10 and 20, it won't evolve into the movement. And right now we're working about 10 transactions. We got about 200 requests from homeowners to NFT their homes all over the world. And soon we'll see those upcoming. We'll learn a lot as a community from those sales. They will be different. There are so many corner cases, but I totally agree with you. Those people being involved in the very beginning for the first transactions, it's not possible. Okay, so we have 5 more minutes. Which advice you would give to real estate agents, to real estate investors, anyone excited both about the crypto space and the real estate space?
Yeah, I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. Start now, right? think about Bitcoin being, created back early 2008, 2009, right? And so it's been now 10 years, and just think about how fast it's grown in that short period of time. In just 5 years, we could see the same amount of growth. And so by getting into it now, you're just setting yourself up to be successful for the future.
Where actually to learn and start?
Well, I mean, crypto certified agent, Propy is definitely helpful, but Google.
Sorry to interrupt. Are you a crypto certified agent?
I am, yes.
Nice.
So just recently, yes, about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations. Was the test hard for you?
Not necessarily, only because of my previous experience with cryptocurrency, blockchain, my course at the University of Arkansas. But it was definitely good to refresh my knowledge. Absolutely. And I've got a lot to learn. By no way, shape, or form am I an expert or claim to be, but excited about the opportunities and possibilities of the future, for sure.
Fantastic. And just to mention that those who are not aware, Propy has a crypto certified agent course, which has 7 sessions. What is blockchain? What is smart contract? What are the most common blockchain applications related to real estate? And the last session probably is most exciting, is a workshop and the steps how to NFT a home. So if you want to get certified, if you want to learn about crypto, that's another resource that you can find on propy.com. Caleb, what's your advice?
I think, well, what you go over in your course is what I usually tell people, and what I did. Like, when I knew about blockchain before I learned about NFTs. I read books on it, and I was like, oh, okay, this finally makes sense. But we got to wait for everyone to buy into crypto. But when I read a book about Ethereum and how it really changed blockchain, and it's not a cryptocurrency. Ethereum or Ether is not a cryptocurrency. It's more of a platform that things are built on. That's what I think is the main thing that people just don't understand, because everyone knows about Bitcoin mostly, or that it's like
that's the cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah. But they don't understand how like Bitcoin could be an NFT or like anything about that. So I think the best thing that people can do is learn about how that works, because it makes a lot more sense.
How Ethereum works.
Well, Ethereum or anything like it, how there can be a blockchain platform and not a blockchain cryptocurrency, because that's, if you understand those basics of the Ethereum platform. Yeah.
Is that the book?
Yeah, that's the Ethereum right there. Yeah. Yeah, that's the logo.
That's a book that I also loved a lot, by Henning Dietrich. I don't know if you refer to the same one.
I had it on Audible, but it was basically about how Ethereum was created from the start, and the team.
So we're not promoting Ethereum here.
No.
However, read about Ethereum or something like Ethereum that has smart contract capabilities, because all this NFT craziness of 2021 and all the craziness of 2017 with ICOs evolved on Ethereum first. Ethereum capabilities gave those standard ERC20 token is the Ethereum token for ICOs. ERC721 token is the NFT standard token. So it evolved from there. So start learning and reading about Ethereum to get deeper there. And then you will notice there are other evolving blockchains like Ethereum, just like Caleb mentioned. But that's a very good advice, very good recommendation.
Yeah, and someone asked if I could put the book name in there, and I'll type it in the chat, but it's called The Infinite Machine by Camilla Russo.
It's a good one. Okay, my team will try to find it and put in the chat if they can find it. And I will put the book that I just showed. So, fantastic. So learn, read. My recommendation would be play with it. buy NFTs. You can use Solana to buy cheaper NFTs just to train. If you didn't buy any crypto, buy $10 of any top coin, not to lose your $10, just to learn. Get simple wallets like Coinbase or Trust Wallet or MetaMask, and just get started if you're not there yet. And if you want to learn more, follow Caleb on TikTok or Instagram, because he's throwing a lot of knowledge bomb there. Okay, Adam, any final recommendations or questions from you?
No, just want to thank Grant, thank Caleb for hopping on our Wednesday webinar. We appreciate it. And thanks for coming on.
And thank you guys.
I have one final question: why Ethereum is preferred real estate platform? The preferred real estate platform is, yes, is Propy.
Yeah.
Ethereum is the blockchain that we use, but we're agnostic. We may change, we may use another blockchain. Right now, Ethereum, it's a standard. It was the first one. It has never been hacked, but it's expensive. It's affordable for real estate transactions, though. This is why we're still on Ethereum. Ethereum now is transitioning to proof of stake, cheaper network capability. And if they delay, we may transition to other networks such as Solana, XRP, Algorand, Polkadot. So we're pretty agnostic, but to learn, we highly recommend, I think we're on the same topic here, all of us, we highly recommend to start reading about Ethereum, and then you can read about other blockchains. I hope it makes sense. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, Caleb and Adam, for this fantastic webinar. Learned a lot from you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You.
See you, Natalia.
Bye-bye.